State Capitol is where you find us on this edition of Meet the Leaders. Hi there, I'm David Smith, and this is a wild time with the attempt to put some finishing touches on some sort of a budget that may see the light of day and get signed all the way around. We'll see how that plays out. But we're pleased to have Representative Laura Hoydick of Stratford with us as our guest on this one, and she, like everybody else, has been holding their breath and chewing their nails, trying to see what the heck everybody's going to come out with. And this is a relatively unusual time because it's not just two sides working on this thing. There are at least three entities coming up with so-called solutions, and maybe more.
There are three, and don't forget the municipalities are weighing in because they have no consistency.
As they should.
The businesses are weighing in because they have no stability. So it's really everybody is, and the nonprofits, everybody is focused on this because they just want to get it right and right for a change, for a long-term solution, and hopefully we'll get to those solutions, some sustainable solutions.
Well, I think a lot of people watching us now are saying, how the heck can you get this right? It is such a dire situation, and so many people have got to take a hit on this thing.
There is, and I think we
can't manufacture the money, we can't print it here.
No, but I think you hit the nail on the head. Everybody has to take a hit on it. Everybody has to give a little bit. Everybody has to sacrifice. It's not the shared sacrifice that we talked about, was it 4 years ago or 5 years ago? I mean, this is truly, everybody's got to have to take a little bit. Municipalities, state union, everyone, nonprofits, and we're just going to have to get this right, and then we're going to have to set the right game plan for the future, and that's talking about some reforms that we can put out for 5 years going forward, that we will actually realize some savings and get us back on the right fiscal road.
We kind of say this sort of thing every year, and last year, you know, you up until 7:30 in the morning and things like that to get something squared away, and yet here we are, back again with the same. Do you think there is a mindset to really make the changes needed so that we don't have to do this again next year or for years to come?
I think there is that mindset because we are really losing such ground every single second. And I think because there are more players than just the three that we talked about before, it's not just the House, the Senate, the Republicans, the Democrats, the governor. It's hospitals, it's business, it's nonprofit, it's communities, it's municipalities. Well, this up and down is doing no one any good. We've got to get it right. And I think in general the consensus is let's do something right. I just hope we can agree with everyone.
Well, that's the thing, in fostering business growth within, but also, I mean, how is this looking to the rest of the business world on the outside who we might be trying to woo to come to Connecticut and, you know, help us out with jobs, with taxes, and with everything else that can mean.
That's pretty optimistic wooing to come. I'm just trying to get them to stay.
Yeah.
You know, this instability, I know I've used that word frequently, but the instability of our environment is terrifying. It's not just terrifying for us, it's terrifying for business owners. I mean, because they can't predict what's going to happen because we're constantly changing legislation and we're constantly changing the rules of the game. And we desperately need some stability. So I hope we can keep the folks we have here, and then once we are stable, ask some more to come, and they will. So.
Well, we have seen some already, a lot of not a lot of job losses, but if you're involved, it's a lot of job losses. And I expect that whatever solution comes out of this at this point will encompass more of that, no?
We might, and I think that's why it's so critically important that we have a good foot forward, and we have to work collaboratively. And if we don't take in CBIA, and we don't listen to the hospitals, and we don't listen to CCM and cost, I think we're going down the wrong road. And I think we have to do this together. Everybody has some shared sacrifice, and we have to do this together.
Now, the R's have been saying we need, you know, it's the whole structure of this tax system here in the state of Connecticut. It has to change in order to really work. Has that now been accepted by the Ds and the governor to some extent?
Well, fingers crossed, we'll see in about 24 hours or less if it has or not. I think they're hearing it. I'm just not sure if they really believe that that's the way to go. But I hope they do. Hope they are open-minded at least.
You did have one positive note that
I
you were going to
did.
mention.
So we've been working with the Governor's Horse Guard, the first and second, Avon and Newtown, for
Right.
many, many years. And there was a piece of legislation that passed the House allowing the horse guards, who have been under budget trouble anyway, they are also nonprofits, 501c3s, to lease extra stall space so they can actually see some revenue and offset their expenses.
Right.
And I think it passed the House. I hope it passes the
I think
Senate.
that's going to work.
Well, it's a tool in the toolbox.
It is such an impressive organization.
They're
Organizations, they're just
magnificent,
amazing.
yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for being with us, Laura.
Thank you for asking.
I know you've got a
me,
busy
David.
time still to come. It's always appreciated.
Lovely to see you.
Representative Laura Hoydick, our guest on this edition of Meet the Leaders. And here we are in Hartford, and the hours keep ticking away. That's it. I'm David Smith.